Contessa's talking about these whiskey makers planning 5, 6, 7 years out. Right here, this is high season right here in Maine along the ports for lobsters, where the planning is now and the need to sell is now. July 4th holiday is when really that season begins to shift. July and August are the high season when they are looking to send their exports out. Here in Maine, about 20% of the exports of U.S. lobster went to where? It went to China. So with that 25% levy being laid down today, not only are they concerned about the long-term repercussions and China looking to other exports. Lobsters don't come just from the United States, but the concern is right here in the short term. We talked to a couple distributors just yesterday up and down the coastline here who said that they already had what were agreed upon, essentially deals ready to ship out lobsters live in their cages, ready to send out. They said that those have been canceled, one for $40 million to Shanghai. And they said now it's a question of not only where does that $40 million commitment go, but where next week do the lobsters go? Because these fishermen here up and down, Maine has done quite a job in regulating the industry and not allowing it to become too commercialized. We were talking with a fisherman up the road who's second generation. He's been fishing solo since he was 9 years old. He's now 29 today, and he said his concern is if there are not those reliable markets, this is too thin of a profit margin for these fishermen. And the concern is going forward for younger fishermen to get into this, because they said there is no trade with this war, and there is no end in sight for this trade war. And when you're looking at an industry here, you've got about 12,000 people working within the fishery market here in Maine. It's a $1.5 billion industry here. Just this last year alone, several $100 million in lobsters went directly into China. And so when you're talking to these individuals, suddenly with the absence of the Chinese market, the question is, where are those lobsters that they are fishing and they were building on reliable markets? Where are they going? One of those distributors that we were talking to, Mark, just yesterday, this spring, he said he put in a $1.5 million investment planning on his market continuing to grow. And so with this situation unfolding, he says he doesn't know whether that $1.5 million investment he made into his company was a good plan, especially as he said that 20% of their market is now closed. You guys?
Vaughn, prices for lobster at this point, have they come down, or is this just concern, anticipation about what might be to come?
They watch that market every single day and watch that price. And we said, I asked them that exact question. I said, when are we going to really know the impact? And they said, well, we look forward to talking with you tomorrow morning once the tariff is levied. Because really the concern is for these fishermen, if you take into account they send out 50,000 pounds, about 50,000 pounds of lobster per boat a year. They said if it drops the price for a dime, that's $5,000. And if you're a Cyrus Sleeper, that 29-year-old fisherman, $5,000 for a family fishing business is quite significant.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.